Okay, today I want to look at the prophecies that were given by Jacob to two of his sons. It was combined, and that's the sons Simeon and Levi. This picks up in verse 5. It's just 5, 6, and 7. It says, Simeon and Levi are two of a kind. Their weapons are instruments of violence. May I never join in their meetings. May I never be a party to their plans. For in their anger they murdered men and they crippled oxen just for sport. A curse on their anger, for it is fierce. A curse on their wrath, for it is cruel. I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them throughout Israel. So this is the second-born son and the third-born son. And they receive this prophecy for the same deed. They wiped out the men of Shechem in retaliation for the rape of their sister Dinah. Dinah was Simeon and Levi's full sister. She was raped by a man from the town of Shechem. And instead of dealing with that man, they wound up and killed all the men in the town. It's found in Genesis chapter 34, and it is a very dark chapter of the family of Jacob and of the Bible in general. But it gives us the truth of what these men did. And at the time, Jacob didn't really come down on them really hard. He registered, some kind of, small offense, and he didn't like it, and they had to move because of it. But here, it's very apparent that God took this very seriously, and we see this from this prophecy. And it even says that a curse on their anger, a curse on their wrath. So in their anger, they killed these men. It was a sin because it was rooted in self-will. Because the Bible does speak of a godly anger. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, it says, be angry and do not sin. And we see Christ. We see Christ exhibit anger in the Gospels. We see him, flip over the money changers table in the temple. And we see him with a whip running people out of the temple complex in the Gospels. And he says, you have turned my father's house into a den of thieves. But that was not sin, because he wasn't angry and self-willed and wanting to take vengeance. He was standing up for what was right. He was standing up for God. He did it in the correct fashion. So here we see they just wanted to kill. They were mad, and they took vengeance on those that had nothing to do with it. They took out their anger on innocent people, innocent families that had no idea what was going on. That was horribly wrong. And the curse that was on them was, I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them throughout Israel. So this happens in a couple ways. The tribe of Simeon goes from, at the time of the Exodus, being the third largest tribe to being the smallest tribe. After the 40 years in the wilderness, 63% of the tribe had perished. They had declined by 63%, and they became the smallest of the tribes. And they were actually given an allotment of land within the tribe of Judah's land. Then there was Levi. The tribe of Levi wasn't given land either. They were scattered and had cities amongst all of the tribes. But for them, this was a little bit different, because though Levi himself had been cursed, because the tribe of Levi stood up during the golden calf incident and took the side of Moses, they were blessed. And the line of the priests actually came through them. When I talked about a few days ago that all of the different offices that would normally have been under the umbrella of the firstborn were scattered, the tribe of Levi would take that role of spiritual leader of the nation of Israel. And so actually the scattering wound up being a blessing to them, because the future generations maintained that loyalty to God and to Moses, and they were blessed because of it. So we can see that generational sin can be broken. It was not broken for the tribe of Simeon, but it was broken for the tribe of Levi, because those men chose the right thing. They chose to follow God. So that's two more. We've got several more to go, and we'll talk about those tomorrow.